Tax day is coming.
Oh, no.
But if you sign up for Robinhood Gold's IRA with a 3% match, you can get up to $195 for the 2023 tax year.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up at Robinhood.com/boost by tax day to get the biggest contribution match on the market. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC.
Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Hey, I always like to open up with something interesting, and this sure is a huge warning, a heads up for anyone who owns their own website. Here's why. Scammers are getting creative and more money hungry. So forget about just sending out those phishing emails to any address that they can find. Now, this must be working for them. It's a new strat. They're paying human beings, that's right, people, to fill out contact forms on websites. You know, the ones where you ask your customers to give you out your name, their phone number, email address, and more. And then they have to check a box or fill out a CAPTCHA to say that they are, in fact, a human being. Well, let me tell you, we have a corporate website, westar.com, that no one ever really visits, as compared to commando.com that got 56 million page views in the last year. So here's one that we got this morning. The message says, "Good day. I reached out to you a few days ago seeking your cooperation in a matter relating to funds worth $24 million. Please get in touch with me immediately through this email. I await your response. Sean." Now, of course, this is just a ploy to sucker you into giving them money. I mean, if he had offered, I don't know, $50 million, now that definitely would have gotten my attention. So, bottom line, if you get these, just ignore them. Hey, you're about ready to get more tech smarts because every single thing is now a tech thing. And if you're a new listener to the Kim Commando Show, welcome. We're so glad to have you with us. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And you can also drop me your questions over on the website. It's a little old school, but it's my favorite way to make sure I don't miss anything because, gosh, it gets overwhelming on social media for me. It just does. So head over to commando.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim. All right, every single day I check out 30 different websites to make sure that you're up to date with all things digital. And this is part of the show where I like to talk about the news, the consumer tech news. And the latest update, we're going to start with Communist China's spy app, TikTok. Now, TikTok's threat to America so big that both the liberals and the conservatives have come together to ban the app. And this past week, Congress advanced a bill to give President Biden the power to completely ban TikTok. As you might already know, ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, is located in Beijing, and it's required by the Chinese law to hand over all the data to the Chinese Communist Party. Now, the National Security Agency director and the Senate Armed Services Committee, they got together, and they're concerned over the data that TikTok has already collected and the influence it has over 100 million American users. Wow. Data like location, the apps on your phone, your usage patterns, your face print, your voice print. And meanwhile, TikTok has launched what it calls Project Clover over in Europe, saying that, of course, we're not spying on anyone, not at all. What are you thinking? Which, of course, is just another big fat lie. Number two, the AI chat box problem. With ChatGPT, the New York Times said it best, not since the very first iPhone has it the belief run so deep that a new tech could change the entire world. But as fascinating as AI chat boxes are, we have a real problem. Every company in the world is dreaming of ways to turn over all their customer interaction to chat tech. And why not? The thing is writing poems, social media posts, writing entire books, figuring out problems. But every once in a while, it goes off the rails. A reporter for Vice experimenting with ChatGPT suddenly found the thing describing gross sex acts with children without the reporter even asking for such content. So, yeah, it's going to change the world, but for now, these AI chatbots, they're unpredictable and they can be dangerous. Next on our list, number 3, Ring doorbells. So how many Ring doorbells are you using? No question, they're great, except for one nasty legal loophole that you need to know about. Get this, a homeowner in Hamilton, Ohio, a suburb on the north side of Cincinnati, was asked by his local police to help him find some neighborhood drug dealers. And the police asked for the Ring doorbell video showing a neighbor's home across the street. Well, the homeowner was, of course, eager to help. Now, a few days later, the police came back and said, we need some more videos. And the homeowner's like, oh, sure, just let me know what you need. Then he got the letter. It was from Ring's corporate office informing him that the police had obtained a warrant requiring him to hand over all the video footage from all 20 of his Ring cameras. Now, of course, most were inside his home and they recorded his private family life. So this is a little secret that Ring never talks about. If you have Ring doorbells, the same thing could happen to you. And speaking of doorbells, what does 007's doorbell sounds, what do they sound like? I mean, what is it? Are you ready for it? 007 doorbell sounds like dong, ding dong. Ooh, I'd like that. Next on our list at number 4, your tax dollars at work department, because here's what's going on. It has to do with bringing broadband service to remote America. Now, the U.S. Treasury gave away $355 million to the states of Arizona, Tennessee, and Wyoming. Now, Wyoming is going to get $70 million to install fiber lines and coax cable to homes and businesses. Yes, I said fiber lines and coax cable. That costs about $6,000 for each subscriber. Now, isn't this a bunch of BS? I mean, considering Elon Musk's Starlink service is already there. Okay? In fact, all of North America is covered by Starlink. And each week, an additional 50 or 60 more satellites join the nearly 4,000 satellite constellation. As for this pandemic relief fund that they're taking the money from, can someone just kind of reach out to somebody in Washington and say, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but the pandemic's over, right? And finally, why the world is still using floppy disks. Now, for most millennials and all Gen Zers, something known as a floppy disk is still a total mystery. And it's kind of shocking where they're still being used. And we're talking about one company in the world sells them, and they're going to run out of inventory in just a few years. But as far as who's using them, they program many of our commercial airliners, the older Boeing 737s, 747s, 767s, and A320 Airbuses. Then there's BART, the San Francisco subway system, Chuck E. Cheese, animatronics, and a couple of years ago, these 5.5 floppies were still used to program targets into America's ICBM nuclear weapons. Yes, floppy disks. Sleep well. And I know what you're thinking. How come the save icon looks like a floppy disk anyway? All right, we got a jam-packed show you don't want to miss. We're going to talk about how to save big bucks on your internet plan. And you can take some surveys online that will actually make you a decent amount of cash. And then later on, how to see if someone's secretly getting copies of all the email that you send and receive. And of course, your phone calls on the Kim Komando Today podcast.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can. In the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder, I read every single email that you send me. Head over to Komando.com and then check the box that says Email Kim. All right, let's start with Joanne in Colorado Springs.
Hi, thank you for my call. I have a question for you. I'm not very computer savvy. All I know about computers is what I had to learn to do my job. I'm retired now, and I'm going to break down and get a computer because I want to do some genealogy, family history, life story writing, and I'd like to write a novel. So what I would like, I don't have a computer, is I would just like, what would you recommend for me?
And when's the last time you used one?
Oh, gosh. Let's see. I retired September of 2019.
Okay. All right. Do you have a phone?
Yeah, I have a phone.
What kind of phone do you have?
I have an iPhone because I'm so stupid. I used to have an Android, but when I went someplace and had problems with it, people didn't know it because more people had iPhones. So that's the only reason I have an iPhone.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Okay. Here's the reason why I ask all this.
Okay, sure.
Is that, and having an iPhone doesn't mean that you're stupid. It does not, because I have one, and I'm not stupid. So I think we're both smart because we have iPhones. So we're going to start from there. What I don't want you to do is to get bogged down in the technology so much that you're not able to do your genealogical research as well as write whatever you want to get done. So I don't want you to go out and buy a desktop computer. I don't want you to buy a laptop. I want you to buy an iPad.
Oh, okay.
Think of an iPad as a big iPhone. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what you can do is you buy an iPad, and then they have these special cases, and they have a keyboard built into them. You can buy them from Apple. So you take your iPad and you put it in the case, and then you have a full keyboard right there.
Right.
But you still have an iPad. You still touch the screen and all that other good stuff. And at the end of the day, if you just want to do research and you don't need the keyboard, is you take the keyboard off the iPad, and then you hang out at places like FamilySearch.org, MyHeritage.com, or Ancestry.com. Okay. So, and then the other thing that's fabulous is that Apple stores have classes like iPads for seniors, free classes.
Okay.
So you can go hang out there, and they're going to teach you how to use your iPad. So, and you're not dealing with like, oh, how do I do Windows? What is that blue screen of death? We don't, you're not in this to get a programming degree. You're not going to program websites. You're not going to do all that stuff. Let's just make life easy and simple. So now you've got a couple of choices on your iPad. You got a 12.9 inch, that's how big the screen is, and you got a 10.9 inch. Now, the differences between it's not just the size, it's the number of cameras. So if you're going to be taking a lot of pictures and you're going to be doing a lot of photo editing, get the 12.9 inch because you're going to like the bigger screen. Okay. Your next choice will be they come just connected to Wi-Fi. Do you have Wi-Fi at your house?
No, I don't. And so that was another question. What internet server do you recommend most that you're happy with?
I would call whoever your local cable provider is. You're getting through your cable TV. Just call them. And you don't need a heavy duty program. You probably need something like $50, $60 a month. Don't let them try to upsell you. Okay. You don't need a gig. Now the iPad comes in Wi-Fi, but it also has Wi-Fi plus cellular. And that's where you'll pay a fee every month to your cellular provider, maybe $50 a month. But, with Wi-Fi, you can go to the library, you can use their Wi-Fi. You go to a coffee shop, everybody has Wi-Fi. Now, I don't think you need the cellular because if you are bringing the internet into your house and that's where you're going to be hanging out most of the time, it's probably going to be better and faster and easier for you just to use that local provider instead of to use cellular. But if you think you're going to be traveling around a lot where there's not going to be Wi-Fi, that's when you get the version with the Wi-Fi plus cellular. Okay. So you're going to want the iPad Pro. If you want to write this down, 12.9 inch, and it's what's called the sixth generation. Okay.
Okay.
And then get that set up and take some classes, and then you'll be like zooming along, girlfriend. You will. If you need any help whatsoever after the fact, just know I'm here for you. Hey, speaking of genealogy, DNA testing can help you find relatives you didn't even know that you had. And you can take DNA tests through companies like Ancestry DNA and 23andMe. But just know that these DNA testing companies, they may share your genetic data with third parties, law enforcement, research institutions, pharmaceutical companies. And then there's turns out my dad wasn't really my dad. I hear those stories like far too often. All right, Eric in Oregon, you're up next.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for taking my call. How are you?
I'm great. What's going on?
Well, I've got a question for you. Kind of new to your show. A few months ago, I was on my way to work. I just relocated here, and I heard you talk about something that I couldn't stay in the car for. So I was wondering if you could go over for me how I can permanently delete my Facebook and all the photos in it. I heard you start talking about it. Something I'm really wanting to do.
So why are you jumping ship?
I don't know. When I die, I'd just rather not have my name on their list. I don't know. I'm just kind of done with it. I'm also tired of hearing what people ate for dinner.
Yeah, it's for me, it's a complete time suck. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I could be doing so many other better things than looking to see that so and so painted their gnomes over the summer or the winter or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I don't
Right.
care. Doesn't matter to me. All right. So here's the deal. I can't tell you the exact steps right here on the air to delete your Facebook account because nobody else would listen except for you. Okay.
Got it.
And because it gets pretty tedious. But what I'll do is Amber will email you these steps that will walk you through it.
Okay.
Now, once you do delete and you go through all these steps, just keep in mind it may take 90 days for Facebook to actually delete your account. So,
Okay.
and all the information from its server. Now, if you don't want to say delete your account, you can always just take a break and that you can deactivate your account for say 5 days, 15 days, 30 days, whatever it may be. And without your content totally leaving the service, which I know that's not what you want to do, but I just want to throw it out there for you.
Sure, I did. I originally started by doing that. Now I just want to finish it.
Exactly. Okay. So, yeah. And the deactivation, just as a side note to anybody who, if you're thinking about this, is that if you ever at least look at some Facebook content or Facebook thinks you might want to come back, they're going to say, oh, here, welcome back. We're so glad. It's like a drug dealer. Come on back, baby. Come on back. Come on. We love you. We love you. Now, what you can do, which I think you want to do, is download everything from your Facebook account. And that's what I was talking about. You can download all of your posts, your photos, your videos, your messages, your comments. You select a date range and a format for your file. And then maybe it depends on how big the file is that it can take, a day, it can take a couple of days before you actually get an alert that says, yes, you can download everything. And again, these steps get kind of tedious too. We have them all over on the website. But what I want to do is because you called in is that we're actually going to send you these steps exactly. So because it talks about like you got to go into the settings and privacy and you want to download your information. And then as far as deactivating it, they're not going to make it just right there front and center. Like,
right.
Hey, thanks for signing in, Eric. You want to delete your account? No. You have to go through all kinds of different steps and different gyrations. So I'm going to put you on hold. And Eric, we're going to send you all those steps that you need. And for anybody else, you're like, I'm tired of Facebook too, is that just search for over at Commando.com. Just search for deactivating my account, deleting my information from Facebook, and removing my account from Facebook. We've got all the steps free for the taking over on the website. Now, let's talk about Facebook for just a moment. If you're concerned about your privacy and all the security risks associated with having a Facebook account, but you don't want to totally delete your account or deactivate it, what you can do is adjust those privacy settings. So this way you can limit the amount of information that's shared about you on Facebook and also anybody who just searches you on the internet. So like, for example, you can choose like who can see your posts. You can limit the visibility of your profile. You control how your data is being used for advertising. Now, you can also reduce your use of Facebook and limit the amount of personal information that you share. So maybe what you want to do is set aside specific times of the day for checking your account. And then, of course, avoiding sharing any type of sensitive information. Now, whether you're using an Android or an iPhone, over inside your iPhone settings, you can say how many minutes a day that you want to be able to use an app, including Facebook. Maybe it's only 5 minutes. And after that, it goes dark. It just starts shutting you down. Now, if you need any of these steps, once again, just hit the website. That's Commando.com. All right, coming up, how you really, truly can make money taking surveys on the internet and more phone calls on the Kim Commando Today podcast. Have you ever wondered if someone is secretly getting copies of all the email that you send and receive? Well, I'm going to tell you how you can know for sure in just a few minutes. But let's talk about, first of all, how you can save big bucks on your internet plan, because it's the same message every year. It's like, hi, I'm your internet provider. We've raised the price of your service. You're like, oh, gosh, does it ever stop? Ever stop? Well, I'm here to help you get that internet bill down. Now, first of all, it's always tempting to sign up for the highest priced and fastest internet plan, but you probably don't need it. So make your best guess about how many hours that you're streaming video, you're playing games, you're browsing the web, and then call your internet provider. You may be able to drop to a different price tier, or maybe not. Then you also want to call this ISP rep, and you want to ask for a promo and ask when it ends. Now, most of the time, the answer is 1 year from when you signed up. Promos don't last forever, but you can negotiate when the year ends. And then while you're on the phone with them, I want you to play hardball. I mean, long term, is it worth the hassle to switch providers? Not. But if your current ISP knows that they're going to take your business elsewhere, they might lower your price. So here's what you want to do. You want to ask to speak to a person who can cut the very best deal. So when you call your ISP, your cable provider, whoever it is, I want you to call and ask to speak to a retention specialist, And those are the folks, like I mentioned, that can have the best deals. Now, if you are leasing your modem, leasing your router, and you're paying a monthly fee for that, that's a big way to waste money. Over on the website at Commando.com, we have all these tips on how to pick the best modem and the best router. Just search for replace the modem, replace the router somewhere in the search box, and I'm sure it's going to pop up for you. But I have a question for you. Why do sharks eat underwater internet cables? Why do sharks eat underwater internet cables? Anyone? Ah, yes. They were advised to have more fiber in their diet. That's right. All right, Judy in Lexington, South Carolina.
Hi, how are you today?
Great. What's going on?
Good. I'm so glad to talk to you. My boyfriend's mother is in her mid-80s, and we visit with her frequently, lunches and dinners and things. And every time we're with her, she wants us to pull up our cell phones and, flip through photos we've taken recently of fun places we've been, or she likens herself to be an ex-crazy cat lady, and I'm a crazy cat lady, so she loves to see the pictures of the cats.
Nice.
And, so it's always fun visiting with her and showing the pictures. We even went so far as to get her a cell phone, thinking we could text her pictures, and then she could look at them at home when she's by herself at her leisure. But that didn't go over so good. She wouldn't charge the phone. She won't use the phone. She didn't like mashing the buttons. She couldn't remember where to go find the pictures.
That turned into more of a nightmare than anything else. Okay.
Right. So I started seeing these ads and things for these digital picture frames, and I thought maybe that would be something we could just get her one of those, set it up in her kitchen when she's having her morning coffee. As we send her pictures, she can just watch them go by and doesn't have to do anything. But in researching all the different frames, my boyfriend went to some big box stores and I got online. We just got more confused with all of the different options, video.
Yeah, let me tell you what I think is one of the best frames out there. And I normally like to give folks a couple of different ones, but I have used this one with several family members in the same position with great success. Okay. And we're going to send you a link to it. So let me tell you a little bit about it. Then when I put you on hold, Amber's going to send you a link to it. But it's made by a company called Aura, A-U-R-A, and just connects up to Wi-Fi. It's fabulous because what happens is that you can just send photos right to her frame. Anybody in the family, as a matter of fact, can send photos right to her frame. So it's just not limited to you. She doesn't have to do a thing. But best of all, because she can't figure out really how to use the phone, is that I want you to buy it. You can buy it. You can set it all up at your house, and then you can just give it to her.
Buy it.
Yeah, but you set it all up and you just give it to her. And because during the setup of this photo frame, you can say, it's not mine. I'm setting it up for somebody else. And so if she has an email address, a lot of the information is going to be tied to her email address, not yours. So if she ever needs support or anything, like she can actually call in or an update or whatever. But you can create playlists. You can set up the frame to display photos at specific times, like you mentioned, like just when she's getting her coffee between 8 and 8:30. That's when the new photos. It's truly, truly a fabulous gadget. It's about $150. And again, we'll send you a link to it over, you can pick it up on Amazon. That's the easiest way. And in case you're interested, folks, we also have a link to it over on the website. Just search for AUR. Now, also keep in mind, most smart TVs, they have built-in photo display options. So this way you can connect your phone or your computer wirelessly. Then you can show all your photos on your TV. That's so sweet. And then also, Amazon Echo Shows, Google Nest Hub, they have built-in photo displays too. So you can connect your phone or cloud storage account and then show all those photos on a device screen too. But again, if you're looking for just the simplest option, a good old-fashioned digital photo frame is pretty hard to beat. All right, let's go ahead and do a great tip. And this week is brought to us by SimpliSafe. You've heard me recommend SimpliSafe home security for years, but I'm not the only one. Just recently, U.S. News named SimpliSafe the best home security system of 2023, and CNET awarded them the editor's choice for home security. And it's easy to see why. SimpliSafe is trusted by experts and customers alike. It's designed with cutting-edge technology, offers 24/7 professional monitoring that costs under $1 a day. That's less than half the price of a traditional home security system. And get this, in an emergency, SimpliSafe agents use their exclusive Fast Protect technology to capture critical evidence. So this way you get priority police dispatch. Plus, I just love that you can lock and unlock your doors, you can arm and disarm your system, access all your cameras, see what's going on, all right from your phone. So, customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes right now by going to this special address, simplysafekim.com. And when you do, there's a deal. You're going to claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring. Once again, that's simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. All right, people always call me and they say, oh, how can I make money taking surveys? And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say, you know what are your skill sets? What are you doing? I'm just like, you're going to work a lot for maybe a $20 or $40 gift card. But here's the deal. If you go to sites other than Swagbutts or Survey Junkie, then you may actually be able to make some money. So let's talk about some real money. Now, your background impacts how much money you're going to make with these online surveys. And some care about the position in your life, a small business owner. What challenges are you facing? And the best sites are going to ask you to do some work. I mean, after all, nothing's free in this world. But they pay better than Swagbucks, as I mentioned, or MyPoints, Survey Junkie. Oh, another one's called Inbox Dollars. So let's say you're on LinkedIn. You can connect your LinkedIn account to third-party survey websites. One, for example, is called the Expert Cafe. It focuses on marketing research. You can earn up to $100 a survey. That's right. Now, after you register, you have to fill out a short questionnaire to see if you're eligible. And then another site checking out is called User Interviews. It connects companies, again, with market research participants. Now, you can earn up to $200 an hour on this site. Now, it does require a time commitment. Maybe you have to have some webinars or some Zoom calls and maybe even go into in-person focus groups, depending upon where you live. So you can complete written surveys online. Then there's also one called respondent.io. Now, if you're a business owner, this one's for you because you can make up to $500 an hour. Yes, that's what I said. And if you're a higher level executive in the company, you may be able to make $700 an hour. So you just fill out these surveys on the site, and they do often pay out in gift cards, but maybe you get a Visa card or an Amazon gift card. Now, I know what you're sitting there saying, oh, what were the names of all those sites, Kim Commando? Because I want to start taking surveys so I can make the big bucks. Hey, listen, if you're retired, this is also a good way for you to make some money, especially if you were maybe a C-level company in your past. Just head over to Commando.com. Of course, that's the official homepage of the Kim Commando Show. That's KOMANDO.com. In the search box, just type in surveys that can make you a ton of cash. That's right, surveys that can make you a ton of cash. And if you start making any money at this, let me know. I want to get some feedback from you. All right, still to come, we have more of your phone calls, as well as later on, how you can know for sure if someone is getting copies of every single email that you send and every single email that you receive on the Kim Commando Today podcast.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Now, I just want to take a moment to take an administrative notice for everybody who gets the Kim Commando Show newsletters, because we've been working behind the scenes so diligently since the first part of January to make sure that our email newsletters are just the very best in the business. And so in doing this, we did some focus group studies, some research. I hired some consultants. And then, of course, with a lot of gut and feedback from you guys and gals, is that we have redesigned all our email newsletters. And right now we're sending out 20 million newsletters a month. So this is a big part of our operation. So we're going to be scaling down the newsletters and focusing just on 2 newsletters every single day that, get this, are not going to have a lot of annoying ads in them. Yes, no more annoying ads. I love this too. And so if you're not already getting our newsletters, head over to commando.com/subscribe. That's commando.com/subscribe. And when you start seeing the new format, that's why I want to tell you about this before it happens, because I don't want you to think like, oh, Kim Commando, you got hacked. The newsletters look different. No, we didn't get hacked. We're doing it in the way of customer service because you guys and gals are super important. So make sure that you sign up for our free email newsletters right now, trusted by over 400,000 folks just like you. You can unsubscribe at any time. Head over to commando.com/subscribe. All right, back to the phones we go with Gene in San Diego.
Hi, Kim. How are you doing today?
Great. What's going on?
Yes, thanks for answering my question here. Emergency Assistance Plus program. I've gotten a lot of these flyers in the mail, and my wife and I travel a lot, and I guess the big picture on this is, for a fee per year, if you wind up, something, God forbid, happens to you on a road trip or you're on a cruise somewhere and you have a medical situation, apparently their folks get you in right, tell you where to go, who to get in contact with. I don't know if these people are legitimate, if it's worth the expense or not.
Well, let me tell you my personal experience with it. And Emergency Assistance Plus. Okay, I was my mother's caregiver for many, many years, and she was in Huntington Beach, and she went septic. Okay, and she was part of the Mayo Medallion program. They used to have that at the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix, and so I used this Emergency Assistance Plus because it was part of the Mayo program to have them bring her from. She was at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. To bring her to the Mayo Clinic in Phoenix. They showed up with a King Air, a nurse on board. They transported her from the hospital to the airplane to Phoenix, and from Phoenix transported her over to the Mayo Clinic. It was seamless. It worked. It was great. Okay. If I was traveling around a lot and if I had medical issues, I would sign up. You might want to see if there's anything with your current health insurance policy that may cover emergency medical transport. And there is a fee. I think it's like $200 a year. But I think if it's something that if you're traveling around and you want to make sure that you get to, let's be frank. I mean, some hospitals are better than others, right? I mean, not that Hoag in Newport Beach was bad. It's just that her primary and her cancer care doctors were all at Mayo, so we wanted to make sure that that was all covered under. I wanted to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, that everybody knew what was going on. They got the whole picture. So we wanted to go back there instead of saying, okay, well, let's do this test, and what about this? And and I know we have Epic and all that other great stuff, but I think if there's a particular doctor, hospital, whatever that you want to be with, and you don't want to be, stuck at a smaller place that may not have the expertise that you need, if it gives you peace of mind, then it's worth a couple $100, don't you think?
I think so too, and that was my thing. It sounds good, but you read the comments and critiques, and they're mixed. So you don't know if it's people that are overly picky, or if it's a competitor or what. So you take all that with a grain of salt. And I've listened to you. I don't get you in where I live often, but when I am in the car and you're on, I listen to you because you're great and you're really ethical.
Thank you.
And you always have good information. So I figured you'd be a great person to contact.
But you bring up a good point. I'll tell you this story, Gene. So a couple of years ago, I went to the St. Regis in Bora Bora. Okay. Yeah. So before I went, And, getting to Tahiti, this is a job, right? I mean, it's a big job, just getting it down there because you got to go from L.A. to Papeete and then you go to Bora Bora. And anyway, so it's a big thing. So before I booked the hotel, I figured, I'm going to go look at the reviews. I go, the hotel has all these 5-star reviews, Gene. Love it. I got the hut over the water. The food's fabulous. Water skiing. All this other. How can you be not happy in Bora Bora? So there's this one guy. Okay, it's a guy. Gives it one. Okay, he gives it a 1-star review. Just a 1-star review. I'm like, okay, I got to see what happened. And I'm just going to say it was like this. Hi, I'm from New York. I'm used to good service. I got there, and I didn't get my free lemonade, and I didn't get my flower lei. So I'm not happy. I'm like, the guy's never going to be happy. It doesn't matter what it is. No, he's
That's
not
what I
going to
mean.
be happy. But I can tell you my experience with the outfit was very good. And if I would need it, I would definitely sign up for it. And Gene, thank you for your kind words and thanks for your call today. What's super interesting to me is that I've noticed a real big uptick in the number of questions I'm getting from you all that are really outside the whole quote unquote tech realm. And maybe it's about how I solved an issue with my mom when I was her caregiver for so many years, or running a company, starting a business, email marketing. I've even noticed a lot of parents are now calling me, how did you, Kim Komando, handle your kid's addiction to the smartphone? So here's the thing. If I can help you with any single thing, I really think that this is my charter in life, and I love, love, love doing it. And I love hearing from you, and I do read every single email. And again, you can always drop them right there on the website. Any question that you have, komando.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim. Have you ever wondered in the back of your mind if someone was secretly getting copies of all the email that you send and all the email that you receive? Look for an option that allows you to view your recent login activity or login history. It's going to be labeled as something like recent activity, security, or login history. And then take a look at the list of recent logins on your account, and then look for any from any unfamiliar locations or any devices that you don't recognize. Now, if you do see any suspicious logins, you want to take some steps to make sure that your account is totally locked down. I want you to change your password, enable 2-factor authentication, and depending upon what email that you're using, it could be called recent activity, security, or login history. In Gmail, by the way, it's at the bottom of the page. Hey, be sure to tell 3 friends about the Kim Komando Show, because knowledge is power.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.